Great. Let's go ahead. Okay, great. Onegaishimasu. Okay, great. Let's just massage a little bit. Okay, great. Front and back. Good. Okay, take it side to side. Okay, and take it into a rotation. Good. Okay, take it into away from the spine. Okay, open it up nice, big to the top. And bending from the knees, stretch them way out. And down. Just one more time. Great, and taking it to the elbows, shoulders. Shoulders. And change the direction. Good, alternating on that. And take it forwards. Big circles at the top. Yeah, changing direction, changing on. So sides. Circling over the front. Change your direction. Great. Okay, twist into the back, the elbows. Reaching out with the hands. Circling the hips. Changing direction. And then straighten the knees. Down. Bring them out. Work inside the side. Inside. Dropping down to the center. Over one side and the toes up. Change it. Okay, stretch out both legs. Straight back. Placing hands on the same line, so feet. Slowly starting to lower the head towards the ground. If you can get the forearms and the elbows off the ground, let the head relax. And then if you can, just take it in one hand to either foot, left hand to left hand, left foot, right hand to right foot. And if that's comfortable, you can bring the hands to the back, bring them up, stretch them up over the head, release into the shoulders a little bit. Slowly releasing that, walking the hands out, stretching straight through the shoulders. Great, just bringing the hands up so that they support the shoulders, and then reaching one hand up to the ceiling. Slowly changing the side. Great, bring the hand back down. From here, keeping the hand down, you're just going to raise it, palm up to the ceiling, just raising one hand up just as high as you can. Keeping the other hand pressing into the ground. Right up. Sink the arm back down, raise the other, palm up, and reaching up with the hand. Reset, walking the feet together. Let's let the body fold forwards. Good. Gently bending the knees. Okay, and one foot in front of the other. Keep pressing the back heel into the ground. Shifting a little bit of weight forwards. Just putting the arms out to the side, straight, shoulders wide. Just gently leaning over to the front leg, so away from the back leg. Okay, raising the hands up to the top of the head, stretch it through the back foot, up to the top, and then a little bit to the side, and a little bit to the back as well. Slowly back down, changing the leg, and just starting to press the back heel into the ground, shift a little bit of weight forward. Bring the arms to the side, gently shifting away from the back leg, open at the side of the body. Hands up to the top, stretching up through the back foot. And then once you've got that, just take it a little bit back and a little bit away from the body. Good. Just shake off a little bit again. To the arms, open out to the side. Changing side. Taking the arm at the top, in the back of the elbow. Just keep that on there. Take the other hand. Just take it up at the back. You can just as far as you can. If you can bring the hands together. Right. If you can't, just leave it here. Slowly release it. Changing the arm. Just taking it at the top first. Taking the opposite arm over, around the back. Can bring the fingers together. So taking the hand, stretching it right over the top. A little bit of a side bend if you want. Great, changing the arm. Taking the forearm, roll over the back, so then also back in. Good, changing arm. Okay, bringing fingers and palms together, stretching up through the shoulders. And linking the thumbs together, so you've got the kind of palms out to the back, raise them up, and then from here, bending from the waist, and the hands up over the head. Release the front of the shoulders if you can. Great. Okay. Bringing the fingers to the front, the wrists. Both directions. Take it over to stretch for the wrist. Just pulse it on a little bit and then hold it. And change. Good. Okay, taking the on the back for 𝒂𝒂𝒕. Changing sides. And over the top, you can turn it here. Changing sides. And taking the hand to a 𝒂𝒊𝒂𝒂𝒃. Changing sides. Right, taking the fingers, reaching out through the arm. Changing now. Fingertips. Making fists. And it's working with a 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒿 open in the hand. The other hand just grasp and a little bit of a rotation to the forearm. And just work anywhere on the forearm, up and down. 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒿 expansion in the hand. Look on the underside as well. Work both arms. And let's work some specific directions with it. So the first one, take the top here, add a little bit of pressure down onto it, and just think about raising the top. So you're kind of raising the sword with it. So you've got that direction in. Think about sinking the shoulder, the elbow down, and raising the hand up. So just give yourself a little bit of pressure here, so you've got something to kind of bite into. Just do a few on both sides. Get the center of the connection to the arm. And so at the same time as you're raising the hand, think about sinking the weight of the body down as well. So let the feet relax, structure drop into the ground. And raise up through the hand. So. Yeah. The main direction with this, if you think about doing this with two hands, just play with this two hands. What you don't want to do is kind of close the body out so that the shoulders kind of close and then like this. So if you think about the kind of root of these in the sword, I don't want to basically close the arms up. That can this kind of close this position up. You want to kind of open that angle up or open that direction up. So you do this, play with either both hands or take in one, but think about the size of the body in this case. It's a really important line because I don't want to lose that as I go into this. So think about this direction through the body. So you've got a kind of nice width through the shoulders. This is nice to do also with a square posture because I can really focus on this kind of left side, right side. Also kind of filling it out to the sides. So without kind of losing that direction. Here. That way if you want, with both hands. That's This time, just take the hand this way. So you've got a little bit of pull back this way, and just think about now rolling it out. So in this case, take a hand, left side or right side. You've got a little bit of pressure here against the arm. Again, think about dropping the shoulder and the elbow. And there's a little bit of a raise to the hand. The main thing now is think about that extension out. Rolling it out. Be trying to mobilize the forearm as well. And you can do this with one without the hand. You can do it with both, or you can do it with taking the hand. a bit of feedback. Just play with both sides a little bit. And see if you can keep that width through the shoulders. Also tends to get lost when we go into hand, so just think about left, right direction. That's good. That's it. Good. Another one you can do here just gives a little bit more flexibility to the forearm. Just gently kind of press into the bicep. You're not pinning the arm, so it's going to kind of move, but you want to feel that the forearm and the hand are basically passing that spiral. And so a little bit now, rather than that kind of movement, look for that kind of motion. So the forearm's basically passing that spiral. If you think about a spiral, think about the fingertips, and in this case, the elbow, and they're kind of moving, they're opposing each other. So that as the elbow kind of drifts out this way, it's going to pull the hand out, and as the elbow shifts this way, they're going to kind of support each other. So see the kind of middle of the forearm as the kind of center of the movement, in this case in the forearm, and just let the elbow and the hand work around that kind of spiral, and it helps. In this case, either just a gentle pressure against the bicep, or you can even roll the hand here. Imagine in this case that the kind of forearm's rolling on a table, so it's got that kind of quality. It's going out, but you're looking for specifically that kind of spiral. Spiral here. And just play with both hands with it. A little bit of flexibility with the 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒄𝒄𝒄𝒄𝒄. So good. And then another one, you work now with the 𝒂𝒂𝗿 position, like that kind of position. So you've got a nice solid position with the hip. Feel that the hands and the hips connect, and then just play with rolling out of it. So again, it's the same exercise, you're working with both hands now. But when you feel you kind of lose it, just come back into this position. So again, you're looking for that width through the shoulder. You've got a strong extension, really connected, feeling with the hips into the hands. Got a really kind of solid connection here. And then just think about releasing it with the hip. The main thing here is get that connection from the hands to the hips. So just use that really familiar position. Just working with flexibility here. So yeah. Okay, now play with basically putting this into motion. So you work with the 𝒂𝒂𝗿, you're working with a rotation. And then that same thing, that connection from the hip, just play with releasing it into a step. You can do either a step forward or a step back, but just the key thing to kind of release through the movement. You've got a really stable position here, and then just think about releasing the hands and the hips together. One side. Great. Now work with this a little bit more flexibly. So rather than the tiny henka be in a position, it's just the kind of move that you pass through now. So you've got this motion into this motion. And again, you can play with stepping forwards or backwards with it. But just play now with this, you roll into the hips, find that position. So now you're looking at that, getting that kind of spiral that passes through the hips, the hands, and it's going to be a kind of continuous motion. So that. And the hands now doing that kind of motion, so they're passing like a double spiral, one hand and the other, and they're kind of rolling that way. So, okay, we'll do one more. This one, like attention here. So think about now, you've got the hands splitting the connection. So one hand's reaching down and one hand starts to come up with it. Do the same thing with the leg. So the right leg comes out, this goes right hand down, and then the left hand reaching up, coming in, and just find that kind of fixed position. The end of the movement. Coming out, up, over. Nice, strong extension at the end of it. Okay, good. Just think about one thing here. As you bring that hand down this leg, think about this foot really becoming stable with this hand. So this is kind of grounding the movement, and the kind of tension angle is kind of the earth hand, right? So this is the ground in the posture here. Now think about that foot and this hand. They're going to mobilize it. So you're looking for this to be stable as this starts to really mobilize the movement. That, and obviously that's coming up and down. So just look for, as you do this, that sense of grounding here. I don't always kind of lose that with that up and down motion still. So try and ground it. So you raise it this way. The more grounded you are here, the more you can start to release that spiral from the back. And you just adjust it as you come through with it. Great. Okay, and then just send a little bit more movement to it. So you start now with the rotation. So you've got, again, kind of both hands being held. You're going to roll into it this way and then open it up. So looking for a little bit more flexibility again with the arm work. Splitting them now with the tension again. Got rotation, roll. Go back. Okay, great. Grab a bokken. We'll do a little bit of work. Okay, great. First thing, just play with the 𝒂𝒗. So you're just working with the 𝒂𝒗 here, and you just want to feel that connection to the hip. So just play with this. However you feel the connection here, and however kind of comfortable you feel with it, you can play with kind of switching left side, right side. Play kind of movement, rotation. But just play with the feeling of the connection from the hips to the hands. And in this case, concentrating it through the hands into the weapon. Yeah, let's play that kind of soft connection. So it's nothing, you don't want to force it, you just want to kind of feel it, that connection in. Be aware of the feet as you do it. You've got that added extra weight now in the front of the body. Try and use that to kind of really fill the back, the structure. As you move. Great. Just keep that kind of soft connected movement going, and then every so often just bring yourself into the first 𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒂𝒂. So just allow yourself to kind of settle in, reach the back, cut in. Just take yourself back into that kind of connected movement. And again, keep that kind of soft connection. When you enter now into that first 𝒂𝒏𝒈, just look for, you can either do like a Zengo, Shiho, Hapogu, however much you want to kind of work with it. So you can do 2 or 4 or 8 cuts with it. But just look for, again, that kind of focus. You can find that connection. And then when you start it, you can obviously either just stick at the 1 or you can take it. Just as long as you kind of maintain that feeling connection. When you feel it's gone, just stop it. And then come back to kind of connected movement. Get a connection to the hips again. So whenever you feel it kind of drop out, either the concentration or the focus or the grounding or any of those things, just come out of it. If you can kind of hold it, maintain it, just keep going with the cuts. Okay, good. So we'll just take this into a yokomen on the spot. So again, use that kind of connected kind of steps in between, you like. But just working now with a yokomen, both sides. That's working on the spot. But again, if I feel that kind of connection starts to weaken, just take a little bit of a pause with it and refine that connection with the sword. You look back, feel the ground, settle, and then take yourself into it. One thing is train that connection. When you feel it's not really there, stop. Try and refine it. Good. Okay, great. Now use objects in your space. They can be either kind of where you're just kind of focusing on them, or you can cut towards them if you kind of feel comfortable with it, or you can just use imaginary objects. If you've not got any, just use something on the wall now and train your focus now to that. So whatever it is, just play with a nice, simple yokomen. Your left side, right. Again, using that kind of connected motion. And now try and train it on the object, the target. So for a nice, clean, crisp attack. It can be absolutely anything in the room. Just be a mark on the wall. Just something you can train your attention towards. Good, same exercise, but now play with basically doing this with intention into the object. So you're basically walking at it. It can be really short distance with it if you've not got the space, but just for now, then you connect it and walk towards it, and then find your attack into it. So whatever the object is, connect to it first, and then think about coming in and then attacking into it. So you want the kind of the approach, and the attack to be the same thing now, or to be kind of smooth transition into it. So connect with this kind of movement, and then you start to go in and cut into it. Nice kind of precise shot movement in. Just now working that sense of the distance closing, and then the attack. Great. Okay, good. Now I want you to imagine that you're basically the target for that attack. So the person you're basically connected here. Think about the person or you before coming in and attacking either side of the head, whether you're coming. Now just play with the first thing is feel the attack coming in, and then you want to, in this case, just feel you're rolling back. You're just going to block that strike. So just think you've got a strong attack coming in. You're coming back and you're just wedging the line. So I want to keep the line, but I want to wedge my sword between me and the attack in this case. So just think that you've got a kind of strong weapon coming in. You're going to move, roll back, block it. We'll just start there and we'll add another movement to it next. Fix in left side, right side. So feel you've been attacked both sides. Okay. Good, and then just add a second movement to it. Absolutely anything you like. Really explore with it, but just play now with the idea that you roll back, you block the shockman, and then probably the person's going to attack again. You're kind of wedged, you're not really finished. So think about now coming in, striking to finish. It could be absolutely anything. Just play with any kind of movement you like. You've got a block, and then think about finding a finishing cut, which can be anywhere on the body. Got a block. Finish with a second movement. Nice, clear, calm. So looking to block, control, and then finish. Wow. Great. Last 20, 30 seconds or so, just play with making them one movement now. So You block back, find the finish. So it's just want to kind of flow into it. Same thing with the kind of copy movement. You've got a kind of flexible movement. Here. Here. And then try and finish it nice and solid at the end. Stick to one or both. Just the last two. Whoosh. Okie dokie, great. We will stop there. Hey, domo arigato gozaimasu.
Domo arigato. Thank you so much.
Alrighty, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.